In this forecast, severe weather will be possible across North Texas tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center has issued northwestern North Texas and a marginal risk for severe weather. And a huge pattern change may come to North Texas next week. As we approach hurricane season, we may see our first storm develop soon. We also may see significant precipitation late next week. All of that and more is coming right up. This is North Texas Weather Center with your latest 4-minute forecast, and getting right to that severe weather outlook for tomorrow. You can see there is a marginal risk of severe storms for northern North Texas and as well as western North Texas, including basically anywhere west of I-35. The potential for some damaging winds up to maybe 70 miles per hour, and also some large hailstones up to the size of maybe ping pong balls will be possible, with a few storms that do develop tomorrow afternoon. But getting into your temperatures for this morning, many of us waking up to the upper 60s and low 70s. By lunchtime today, we'll warm up into the mid 80s. And eventually by about 4 o'clock today, we should all rise into the low 90s. So it'll be a nice little hot day out there. Again, this heat wave is going to continue for the next several days. Taking a look at the timing for tomorrow in terms of the severe weather potential. 7 o'clock or so, some showers and storms will start to develop back out to the west, pending the cap, which the cap should be able to weaken for some storm activity late tomorrow, probably around the evening hours or so, so right after the rush hour commute. By about 8, 9 o'clock, some storms still ongoing. Depending on how strong the cap is here in DFW, we might see these storms get a little bit closer. This current computer model is just showing that they'll kind of fizzle out right around 11 or 12 o'clock, not really reach the Metroplex. Most of us will probably stay dry in the Metroplex, maybe in western, Denton County or Tarrant County, Carolina, an isolated storm. As of right now, looks to be a fairly low-end risk at this time. All right, let's take a look at the overall pattern that we're in as of right now. As I mentioned in the last several forecasts, we have a bridge. Basically, it's a blocking high that we're looking at. It's going to block us off from a good amount of precipitation for the foreseeable future. There's a little low out here to the west, and then there's also a low pressure system here. Now, what are we really concerned about with this? Well, there's not a whole lot to be concerned about over the next several days. We may see a little bit of action in North Texas this weekend in terms of maybe a few showers or maybe an isolated storm. This should be very isolated, though. I'm looking at less than 20% chances for those days. Going to next week, the jet stream, you can kind of see here, this is by Thursday of next week. We're still going to be looking at a pretty solid pattern where there's a ridge over North Texas and back out to the northwest in the northwestern portions of the United States. A low pressure system will exist there. This will eventually maybe dip by next weekend, and this may bring the jet stream might dip just enough for us to maybe see some showers and storms going to early next week, which might be a widespread event. So definitely something to watch. And again, this is by almost the end of the month at this point. I mean, the 24th of May might be the next chance of maybe a widespread event. By the way, real quick, we are getting pretty close to tropical season. We're basically only about 3 weeks or 2 weeks away from hurricane season. Just want to kind of bring this up real quick. The GFS model is actually showing maybe a little system might develop sometime late this week, maybe into next week, and this might be something to watch. Obviously, it's kind of early, and obviously it's just one computer model, but it's definitely something to watch. Obviously, we're getting pretty close to hurricane season. We usually see at least one storm develop before that begins, which is June 1st, just so you're aware. All right, let's take a look at the future radar heading into late this week. We'll probably stay dry for the most part. By Friday or Saturday, a few isolated showers or storms may exist next week. Again, this is next weekend, not this weekend, so maybe some showers and storms then. Again, there might be a chance for a few days of that chance for rain, but it's kind of too early to tell whether this will happen or not. We've seen these kind of pop up a few times with at least the GFS model and hasn't really stuck, but we might see something. Just keep it in mind. Definitely it's something to watch maybe next weekend. Take a look at the temperatures for tomorrow morning. We'll start out in the upper 60s across most of the area, and by the afternoon we'll be in the mid to upper 90s, and I'm forecasting us to potentially reach 100 degrees in some areas on Sunday. Here's your latest 7-day forecast, and again, over the next several days, storm chances seem to be very minimal overall. Again, a 15% probability on Friday, slightly higher on Saturday. Eventually by next week, we'll stay dry until maybe next Thursday or Friday, or maybe again a system might impact our region. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting, All Dense Repair, and the Dashner Law Firm.